Hey guys, this is part two on Smallmouth series for the Ohio Islands of Lake Erie. On the previous part one, we covered Kelly's Island. On this part, we will be covering South Bass Island or Put-in Bay. Um, we'll go ahead and start with the closest launches to South Bass Island. Your closest launch is going to be Catawba State Park, located at 4049 East Moores Dock Road. Um, there's an entrance. I think that is the entrance. Yeah, that's the entrance right off Moore's Dock Road. That's your closest place to launch. We'll go ahead and give you an aerial here. A few lanes there. Everybody's pretty quick there. Uh, kind of a small parking lot. So if it's a holiday weekend, I'd get there early. Next closest launch would be there's two launches in West Harbor. There is a West Harbor Public Launch, located at 1955 Northeast Catawba Road. And there is a private launch that will cost you $7 a day to launch or $75 for the season. And it's located on North Buck Road, which is Highway 269. This is a pretty good option if you're going to go on holiday weekends or anything like that. You want to get away from the crowds. Um, Catawba has no, just a little short idle. West Harbor has quite a long idle depending on where you launch. If you launch at the private ramp, it's a little less of an idle, um, and you have to deal with all the traffic in the harbor. Um, Another option is East Harbor Campground. Um, Again, you have to either idle or you can run across this area of East Harbor. Um, and then once you get to the buoys, you have to slow down and idle out at the mouth. And then there's also Missouri's boat access, which is located at 8957 North Shore Boulevard. Um, Pretty good launch here, uh, just depending on what's crowded, where you want to launch, where you feel most comfortable launching to get up to South Bass Island. Missouri's is going to be your longest run to the island. So Catawba State Park, preferably, if you're going to fish this side of the islands. Okay, we'll get right into the fishing. We'll go over locations, depths, time of year, just as we did in part one. So I'll switch over to Navionics web chart viewer. Okay, we'll start on the south side of the island here. The ferry dock here can be pretty good, um, all the way through midsummer. Um, I haven't tried it during the spawn, but midsummer it's been pretty good. Depth 16 foot or right up against the dock. They like to hang right up against that dock and catch bait as it comes. Just be wary. There's a lot of boat traffic in this area, including the ferry coming in and out of there. So if you're gonna fish it, I would be in and out of there. I haven't been able to sit there for long periods of time just because of the boat traffic. Um, Now we'll move over to the southwest corner of South Bass Island. Um, this whole area, from the point north to this next little bump in the point, is pretty good. Uh, 16 to 20 foot. I've caught fish in this area. During the spawn, you can slide up to about 10 foot and catch some fish. Tubes, drop shots work good in this area. During the spawn, you can probably run a crankbait or a jerkbait right up against the rocks here. It stays pretty deep. You can get right up against the shore here, with your boat without having to worry about anything. Um, Next, we'll move over to Starve Island area. This area can be real good. There's a lot of charter boats that drift this area, just a warning. They like to drift with soft craws and tubes and such. But this whole rocky area right here, all the way up into 10, 12 foot, all the way out to 20 foot, can be really good throughout the year. I haven't tried it in the fall, but I'm assuming there's some fish hanging there in the fall as well. But spring, summer, late summer, I've caught fish throughout this area. Okay, now we're going to move up to the extreme west point here. This whole point can be really good. And just a warning, there are a lot of boats that fish right here. Um, but I have caught fish in pretty much all depths right here. Can be a really good summer spot out deep. It drops off really quick after you get past all the rocky shoreline. Okay, now we're gonna move up to the northern side. This long point that's above north of Gibraltar Island can be good at times, but I haven't. There's not a real consistent bite there. Um, in the spring, there's a point in the spring where they come into this bay, um, do their thing, and then they leave pretty quick. So it seems like you got to catch them at the right time when they hit that point, either coming in or going. Haven't been able to do any good uh, late or early summer, late summer um, time frames like that. But in the springtime, I have caught fish on this point. Gibraltar Island can be good at times. It does get hammered since it's in a protected area. There's a lot of boats that come from mainland or launch on South Bass and hit this area. Um, in the springtime, the fish are in here spawning. You'll see a lot of guys bed fishing, especially in this area. The docks on the east side of the bay here. There's a lot of good spawning areas for the fish here, and a lot of guys cruise around uh, and are looking for spawning fish. After they spawn, though, they typically move out to high current areas. So this point right here is a high current area, and there's a couple rocks that stick out too. Yeah, it's showing it right here. There's a big rock that sticks out here. This is a high current area. This is a high current area, which can be really good at times, deep and shallow. I've caught fish as early as March in this spot, and I've caught fish as late as September, October. Um, it's just how the current's going that day and where the bait is setting up will position those fish. Um, Now we'll move over to the northeast corner, which is Buckeye Reef. Uh, Buckeye Reef gets a lot of pressure, and for good reason. There's fish there at all times of the year. During tournaments, you'll see three, four, five boats sit on Buckeye Reef the entire day, um, just because there's that many fish in the area. Um, Now, are you going to catch, uh, a good size limit or something off of it? I don't know. I haven't sat on it long enough to find out. But I have caught two or three fish every time I've stopped at Buckeye Reef during the day. Uh, no real big ones, but there are a lot of fish in that area, um, and that's because that current, like I said before, that current is sweeping across uh, this northern tip of South Bass Island. There's like a chute here that just has a big current area, and it's coming right across this reef. So as the bait piles up on that reef, so do the smallmouth. Um, Now in all these areas, now during the spawn, you can run jerk baits or crank baits or something up here shallow. But as these fish start moving out, I'm gonna throw a tube or a drop shot. For drop shot, I like to throw a darter with an 1/8 ounce drop shot weight. Um, I throw tungsten. You can throw lead. It's just got a little bigger profile. But drop shot and tubes are really good in this area. On Buckeye Reef, I've had better luck dragging tubes. Um, Maybe that's because it's loaded up with gobies on that reef. I'm not sure. Not to say drop shot won't work. I've always had better luck with tubes in this area. Um, Now, in between there and Ballast Island, there is a. It stays rocky, but there's a channel here, a boating channel. Sometimes those fish will lay in this trench, this boating channel. Um, just be careful trying to fish a channel there. It can get real crowded at noon on a Saturday. Uh, lot of big boats moving in and out. Okay, now we'll move down to the eastern side of the island. I've done good in this area, just south of Buckeye Reef. There's a lot of rocks. You'll see the rocks when it's rough out, when they're right before they break shore. Um, so this underwater point can be really good, all the way out to about 22 feet. I start shallow to see if the fish are shallow first. Uh, if it's early in the year or May during the spawn, something like that, um, I'll check shallow just to see where the fish are. But normally I'm fishing the east side of this island summertime, June and on. Um, so this underwater point can be really good. This underwater point can be really good. Um, I have tried this monument area on the south side. Never had much luck in there, but I haven't been in there in the spawn during the spawn. So that may be why I haven't been catching fish. There's in this area. There's a lot of boats that do go in there April May time frame. Now there's a nice ledge um, that comes down here. That there's a flat in between these two real steep ledges. On this flat, you're talking 16 to 20 foot in some spots. This isn't always that accurate here, but get rid of this. But this flat in between these drop offs can be really good at times. Drop shot, primarily drop shot in this area. Um, you can try to drag tubes. A lot of the charter boats drag this area, um, drift fishing. But that area right there is probably my best area on the east side of the island. Um, and then we've already covered this. This can be really good at all times of the year. So let me check and see if I missed anything. I think that's about it. So hopefully this tutorial series helps you guys catch some fish. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.